In the heart of a small, secluded town stood an old, decaying hospital. Its crumbling walls and shattered windows were the only remnants of a place once bustling with life. Dr. Alexander Holloway was the last remaining doctor in this forgotten institution. Tall, with piercing blue eyes and a demeanor that sent shivers down anyone's spine, he was a man shrouded in mystery. The townsfolk whispered tales of the doctor's past, stories that grew more sinister with each retelling. Some said he was a genius surgeon who turned mad, while others believed he dabbled in dark, forbidden sciences. Patients entered his hospital, but rarely came out the same. Those who survived spoke of strange experiments and eerie noises echoing through the night. One stormy evening, a young woman named Emily approached the hospital, seeking help for her ailing brother. She hesitated at the entrance, the heavy wooden doors creaking as she pushed them open. The reception area was dimly lit, with flickering lights casting long shadows. A faint smell of antiseptic mixed with something far more pungent lingered in the air. Dr. Holloway appeared almost immediately, his presence both comforting and terrifying. "How may I assist you?" he asked, his voice smooth yet cold. Emily explained her brother's condition, her eyes pleading for help. The doctor nodded, his face betraying no emotion. "Follow me," he instructed, leading her through a maze of dark hallways. The further they went, the colder it became, the air thick with an unspoken dread. They reached a heavy metal door, which Dr. Holloway unlocked with an old, rusted key. Inside was a room filled with strange, archaic medical equipment. "Place your brother here," he directed, pointing to an old operating table. Emily reluctantly complied, her heart pounding in her chest. Dr. Holloway began his examination, his hands moving with precise, almost mechanical efficiency. As he worked, Emily couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. Suddenly, the lights flickered, and a low hum filled the room. The doctor's eyes glowed eerily in the dim light, and Emily's fear turned to panic. "What are you doing to him?" she demanded, her voice trembling. Dr. Holloway didn't respond, his focus entirely on the task at hand. Minutes felt like hours as Emily watched in horror. Then, with a final, decisive motion, the doctor stepped back, his work complete. Emily's brother awoke, his eyes wide with terror. "What did you do?" Emily cried, rushing to his side. Dr. Holloway smiled, a chilling sight. "I've given him a second chance," he replied cryptically. As they left the hospital, Emily couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The shadows seemed to move and strange whispers echoed in her mind. Back home, her brother's condition improved, but he was never the same. He spoke of nightmares, of dark figures and unending pain. Emily returned to the hospital, demanding answers. Dr. Holloway met her with the same cold smile. "Some questions are better left unanswered," he said. Determined, Emily began to investigate the doctor's past. She discovered records of patients who had disappeared, of experiments that defied explanation. Late one night, she broke into the hospital, determined to uncover the truth. She found a hidden basement, filled with rows of glass jars containing strange, glowing substances. In the center of the room was a large, ornate book. Its pages were filled with incomprehensible symbols and drawings of horrific creatures. Dr. Holloway appeared behind her, his eyes glowing in the darkness. "You've seen too much," he said, his voice echoing ominously. Emily tried to flee, but the doctor was too quick. He grabbed her, dragging her deeper into the basement. "You wanted answers," he whispered. "Now you'll be part of them." She screamed as the darkness enveloped her, the doctor's sinister laughter ringing in her ears. The townsfolk never saw Emily again. her fate becoming another dark legend of Dr. Holloway. The hospital remained, its doors always open, waiting for the next unwitting soul to enter. And Dr. Holloway continued his work, his experiments growing ever more twisted. Some say his ghost still haunts the old building, a reminder of the horrors that once took place. But most know better than to speak of him, for fear of drawing his attention. The legend of Dr. Holloway lived on, a chilling tale of madness and terror, and those who ventured too close to the hospital could still hear the echoes of screams, a warning to stay away. Yet, curiosity often proved stronger than fear. New residents, unaware of the dark history, would occasionally wander in, seeking help. Dr. Holloway was always ready to welcome them, his icy blue eyes gleaming with anticipation. The cycle continued, a never-ending nightmare in the heart of the town. No one truly knew what drove the doctor to such madness. Some speculated he sought to conquer death itself, while others believed he was a pawn of darker forces. Regardless of the truth, one thing was certain. Those who encountered Dr. Holloway were forever changed. His legacy of horror endured, a permanent scar on the town's history. And as long as the hospital stood, its sinister presence would remain, a testament to the terrifying power of a mad doctor's obsession. In the end, Emily's disappearance became just another story, her fate a mystery that would never be solved. The town moved on, but the memory of Dr. Holloway lingered, a ghostly reminder of the horrors that once were. For those brave or foolish enough to seek the truth, the old hospital awaited, its doors open, and the shadows within whispering their dark secrets.